1. When designing a UExcel preparation course for adult learners, which strategy most effectively supports self-directed learning? A. Assigning mandatory daily quizzes. B. Providing optional learning paths with flexible pacing. C. Requiring all learners to follow the same rigid schedule. D. Limiting access to resources until the end of each module. 2. A UExcel instructor wants to ensure students apply concepts, not just memorize them. Which evaluation method is most appropriate? A. Matching type questions. B. Case-based scenario assessments. C. True or false worksheets. D. Pure recall flashcards. 3. When reviewing curriculum alignment for a UExcel subject exam, what should an educator prioritize? A. Student preferences. B. Alignment with UExcel exam competencies. C. Length of the textbook. D. Faculty workload reduction. 4. An adult learner preparing for UExcel struggles with motivation. Which instructional technique best addresses this? A. Competitive grading. B. Linking content to the learner's personal and career goals. C. Frequent time drills. D. Strict instructor-led pacing. 5. A mentor helping a UExcel candidate develop test-taking strategies should prioritize which of the following? A. Reviewing every chapter in the textbook. Teaching metacognitive awareness for identifying strengths and weaknesses. C. Memorizing as many practice questions as possible. D. Minimizing breaks to increase study time. 6. In creating a UExcel practice exam, which guideline supports high-quality assessment? A. Avoiding feedback to maintain test integrity. B. Mirroring exam blueprint weight distribution. C. Including only low-difficulty items. D. Testing only recall-level questions. 7. A UExcel course designer wants to accommodate diverse learning styles. Which approach is most effective? A. Providing only video lectures. B. Including multimodal resources such as readings, visuals, and simulations. C. Requiring learners to choose one learning mode. D. Using only instructor demonstrations. 8. A learner gives incorrect answers for the same concept across multiple UExcel practice quizzes. What should the mentor do? A. Increase quiz difficulty. B. Provide targeted remediation with concept mapping. C. Assign longer study hours. D. Retest immediately without reviewing content. 9. A UExcel instructor is improving communication within a study group. Which method best increases clarity and engagement? A. Posting long announcements without summaries. B. Using structured agendas and open discussion time. C. Limiting questions to the end of the session. D. Encouraging learners to communicate only via email. 10. During a UExcel review session, learners hesitate to participate. Which technique increases engagement? Cold calling students. B. Using think, pair, share activities. C. Delivering a longer lecture. D. Calling on volunteers only. 11. When ensuring regulatory compliance in UExcel exam prep materials, what should the educator verify? A. That materials are aligned with regional state standards. B. That materials closely follow UExcel's published content guidelines. C. That learners approve of the content. D. That the textbook is from a well-known publisher. 12. A mentor observes that a UExcel candidate struggles with test anxiety. Which action supports emotional readiness? A. Ignoring the issue to avoid distraction. B. Teaching breathing techniques and timed practice confidence drills. C. Reducing study breaks. D. Prohibiting practice under timed conditions. 13. A UExcel instructor wants to measure higher-order cognition. Which question type is most appropriate? A. Memorization-based items. B. Application and analysis scenario questions. C. True or false statements. D. Single-word identification. 14. When developing learning objectives for a UExcel course, which guideline is most important? A. Using vague, flexible verbs. B. Aligning each objective with measurable outcomes. C. Writing objectives that only assess recall. D. Making objectives dependent on instructor preference. 15. A UExcel student seeks clarification about a complex concept. Which communication technique is most effective? A. Giving a long abstract explanation. B. Using analogies and checking for understanding. C. Repeating the textbook definition. D. Redirecting the learner to self-study. 16. An instructor wants to integrate formative assessments into a UExcel prep curriculum. What is the best approach? A. High-stakes testing only. B. Frequent low-stakes quizzes with immediate feedback. 1 midterm practice exam. D. No assessments until the end. 17. A learner repeatedly misinterprets UExcel exam instructions. The mentor should A. Assign more reading assignments. B. Teach active reading of test directions with practice examples. C. Skip instruction on directions. D. Increase content complexity. 18. A UExcel prep program is evaluating its curriculum. What is the first step in curriculum review? A. Modify activities. B. Collect learner performance data. C. Reduce study materials. D. Shorten lessons. 19. A UExcel instructor wants adult learners to internalize key concepts deeply. Which learning method works best? A. Passive lecture. B. Real-world application exercises. C. Memorizing summaries. D. Rewatching videos repeatedly. 20. During mentoring, which approach best supports the learner's autonomy? A. Providing all answers directly. B. Encouraging reflective journaling about learning progress. C. Restricting decision-making. D. Setting identical goals for all learners. 21. An educator wants UExcel learners to monitor their own exam readiness. Which tool is most effective? A. Mandatory group study. B. Self-assessment checklists aligned to exam domains. C. Instructor-only evaluations. D. Lecture attendance tracking. 22. A UExcel student performs well on content knowledge but poorly on timed tests. What skills should be developed? A. Memorization speed. Testing stamina and pacing strategies. C. Vocabulary enhancement. D. Additional readings. 23. To improve retention for adult learners studying UExcel content, the instructor should prioritize A. High-volume repetition. B. Learning that connects content to prior experiences. C. Strict memorization. D. Uncontextualized drills. 24. A UExcel curriculum developer wants consistency across modules. Which tool ensures alignment? A. Instructor preference sheets. B. A standardized curriculum map. C. Textbook chapter summaries. D. Student feedback only. 25. When giving corrective feedback during UExcel mentoring, the most effective method is A. Focusing only on errors. B. Balancing strengths, corrections, and actionable steps. C. Delivering feedback publicly. D. Only giving positive comments. 26. A learner overestimates their UExcel readiness. Which assessment tool provides the most accurate insight? A. Single quiz. B. A full-length practice exam under test conditions. C. A survey of confidence levels. D. Informal observation. 27. A UExcel instructor needs to build critical thinking. Which activity best supports this? A. Copying definitions. B. Analyzing complex case scenarios. Memorizing charts. D. Listening to lectures passively. 28. When mentoring UExcel students, which technique fosters accountability? A. Setting unrealistic deadlines. B. Helping learners create weekly study plans. C. Doing planning for them. D. Using only verbal reminders. 20. UExcel curriculum reviewer notices redundant content. What should be done? Leave it untouched. B. Streamline modules to reduce overlap. C. Add more difficulty. D. Extend lesson time. 30. To ensure fairness in UExcel practice assessments, educators should A. Use subjective scoring. B. Apply consistent rubrics across all learners. C. Grade based on effort alone. D. Adjust scores based on participation. 31. A UExcel instructor wants to enhance digital literacy among adult learners. Which method is most appropriate? A. Avoiding technology to reduce confusion. B. Incorporating guided practice with exam-related tech tools. C. Assigning independent tech exploration without support. D. Using only printed materials. 32. A mentor notices a learner guessing on practice items without analyzing mistakes. What's the best intervention? Encouraging random guessing to save time. B. Requiring an error analysis log. C. Reducing practice exams. D. Letting the learner continue independently. 33. To improve communication clarity in UExcel virtual classes, instructors should A. Use long explanations without visual aids. B. Incorporate structured slides and summaries. C. Limit opportunities for learner questions. D. Use highly technical jargon frequently. 34. A UExcel instructor wants to ensure learners transfer test-taking strategies from practice tests to the actual exam. Which instructional approach is most effective? A. Allowing only untimed practice sessions. B. Guiding learners to reflect on practice performance and adjust strategies accordingly. C. Providing answer keys without explanations. D. Repeating the same practice test multiple times. 35. A mentor notices that a UExcel student excels in independent study but performs poorly in collaborative review sessions. What mentoring strategy best supports improvement? A. Removing the student from all group activities. B. Coaching the learner on communication and collaborative problem-solving techniques. C. Increasing the number of mandatory group sessions. D. Reducing study time to avoid overwhelm.